Hello students, welcome back to Global Online Channel. Myself Nihal. So in today's session we are going to discuss the important points about the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Okay, we will be discussing the what is IMF and World Bank, what are the objectives of the both, what are the functions of these both. Okay, and these points are very important in terms of your examination perspective. So I suggest each and every student who is seriously preparing for the December attempt of NTA UGC NET from Commerce and Management. Okay, please watch this video till the end because I will be explaining you with the example and in detail explanation. Okay, and before that, very important thing I would like to discuss with you all. We are providing a complete course for those students who are preparing from management and commerce background for upcoming December NTA UGC NET examination, in which all the concepts will be clear with the video lectures. Full syllabus notes will be provided to you, so you will cover your all syllabus, right? Mock test will be provided to you, so you will practice more and more. Your confidence will boost. You will be understanding what you are lagging behind, and the experts will guide you what the mistakes you are doing. Getting it? The PYQs sessions will be there. PYQs with right explanation, detailed explanation will be provided to you. Doubt clearing sessions will be taken. Marathon sessions will be there. So more and more mock test and more questions will be discussed with you. Understanding? So this is full coverage of what you need to do in this examination. All the materials, all the things which is necessary to qualify this examination we are providing in that complete course. Okay, so what you need to do, just give a WhatsApp message on this number, or you can do WhatsApp call and start your preparation today. Okay, do not miss this opportunity. We are starting our new batch from next Monday. Okay, just do a message or do a call on a WhatsApp on this number and start your preparation from today. Okay, so best of luck. Now let's start with the theory session. All right, let's begin with the IMF now, International Monetary Fund, which is the important body in a globe which is responsible for making stable financial movement in the member countries, right? So IMF was established in 1944 in the Bretton Woods Conference. Okay, in that conference it was decided that IMF should be established. Correct. Headquarters are there in Washington DC, and the member countries are more than 190. Correct. So these are the points which you need to remember, and these are the points now I'll discuss with you which you need to understand. Okay. So first objective of the IMF, okay, which is really very important, ensure exchange rate stability. Correct. So IMF is the responsible body who can ensure the exchange rate stability. How? The basically IMF aims, okay, the objective of IMF, or the which will be the achievement of the IMF, that to avoid the competitive devaluation, right? And some of the times the currency manipulation as well. So if those things or those practices are happening, right, this may be very crisis kind of thing for the member countries, and it will collapse the stability or balance of the trade, sorry, exchange rate. Understanding? So basically IMF is the responsible body who can monitor the exchange rate policies of the member countries, right? And that will be very beneficial for those member countries, and it will directly contribute to the economic stability. So someone is there who is responsible, or who is monitoring those financial practices in member countries, and if any kind of violation is happening, the IMF will be responsible body who will take initiative to resolve those problems. Okay, and it will ensure the balance or stability in the exchange rate. Correct. Next point is facilitate balanced trade growth. It facilitates the balanced growth of international trade. Correct. Like IMF is providing some kind of policies, some kind of advices to the member countries, and it will directly promote the sustainable trade. right? So that is also important that member countries should follow those rules and policies. Then only it will be possible that trade is balanced, correct? So basically IMF will also help the member countries to implement those policies, and when that policies are implemented, that will directly encourage the economic integration, and it is beneficial for those member countries, okay, if they follow those policies or follow those rules directly, that is directly open the market for the member countries, right? So this kind of policies that IMF is providing for the member countries, that is beneficial for all member countries in the terms of financial practices, correct? Next is provide financial aid to countries in BOP crisis, that is balance of payment, correct? So IMF can provide, okay, the offer to the member countries, which could be a short term to medium term offers. Offer, that means IMF is providing short term and medium term loan to the member countries who are in the crisis of balance of payment, correct? So IMF will help those countries to manage the BOP, the deficit of BOP basically, correct? How it is doing, like IMF is providing the SBA, then EFF, RFI, okay? What is those? These are the programs, like SBA, standby arrangement, then EFF, extended fund facility, RFI, rapid financial instrument. These are the programs that IMF is providing for those countries who are in the crisis of BOP. Okay, what is BOP crisis? That means that member country is facing BOP deficit, so IMF will provide them a short term and medium term loan so they can balance that BOP, correct? They can resolve their BOP crisis, understanding? So these are the main objectives of IMF. Now let's move to the functions of IMF. Now let's discuss the functions. Surveillance of economic policies. What is this surveillance? That means the monitoring. Okay, so IMF can monitor the global economic trends, some financial developments also, and in terms of that, IMF can give advice to the member countries, correct? So basically surveillance means, uh, you must have heard that you are under the CCTV surveillance. What is that surveillance? That means you're being watched. What you are doing, you are being watched. So if the member countries are doing unnecessary financial practices or anything which is more in terms of monitoring, correct, the IMF is the responsible body who is monitoring those member countries what they are doing, correct? If they are doing unnecessary practices, IMF will note them out that you are not doing in a correct way, you are uh, violating the rules, correct? So IMF will monitor some of the global economic trends, financial development, and that will advise the member countries as well, understood? Then lending programs, obviously IMF will provide short term and medium term loans to the member countries, okay, who are in the financial crisis also, like for example extended funds facility, standby arrangements, okay, these are the programs that IMF is providing, right? Then we have technical assistance. Technical assistant, that means the capacity development, right? Technical assistant training that IMF is providing for the member countries. So member countries who are in the that term or that issues, they can strengthen their economic institutions with the help of this capacity development, right? So IMF will provide technical assistance for those countries. Also economic research, understanding. For example, World Economic Outlook, okay, WEO. Remember this, okay? World Economic Outlook. Then we have GFSR, right? Global financial stability, okay, report. Understanding? So through those things, the IMF is doing research in the monetary terms in the world uh, level, correct? And that will be very beneficial for the all member countries. What is actually going on? What we need to do, correct? So IMF is doing this kind of functions also, right? So remember those points, very important. Next is World Bank, okay, which was established in 1944 again in Bretton Woods Conference. Correct. So basically, IMF and the World Bank, which was the both things were established in the Bretton Woods Conference. Basically, it was discussed in the Bretton Woods Conference and it was established in 1944. Headquarters is there in Washington DC. Institutions like IBRD and IDA, okay, is equally called World Bank, correct? International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and we have International Development Association. Together we call it World Bank. Clear? Remember this. IBRD plus IDA. Together we call it World Bank. Clear? These points you need to remember. And these objectives we'll discuss now. You need to understand. Okay, so first objective of uh, World Bank, that fight poverty, that means reducing poverty, correct? So which is really very important work of World Bank, that is reducing poverty and improving the living standards, right? So World Bank is the body who is focusing on uplifting the low income and developing countries, correct? How they will do this? Okay, they can develop those countries who are underdeveloped, who are developing countries. How? They can give access to education, they can give healthcare facilities, they can give clean water facilities, and electricity problems they can solve, right? So these are the basic things that every developing countries are facing now, and those important points or functions, okay, that the World Bank is trying to provide to those developing countries, correct? They are also providing the infrastructure and livelihood generation as well, okay, which is responsible for the growth. Understanding? So the main target of World Bank is to growth and equity in development. For example, World Bank is the supporting, and it has supported India as well in Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which is, what is this? This policy or this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is rural development scheme, which is responsible for developing the rural areas. And who is helping in that? World Bank, right? So World Bank is helping to fight the poverty. Understood? Now next is promote sustainable development, correct? It promoting the sustainable economic development also by supporting the projects, okay, and those projects are the for developing or sustaining the environment facilities, or not facilities, the environmental things basically, right? Which are economically viable, correct? See how they are doing this also. They are providing some kind of fund facility, right? They are providing the, just a second, okay, they are providing what? They are providing fund programs, right? They are providing fund programs to the uh, developing countries, correct? The like a renewable energy program, climate change adaptation, then we have urban and rural development. So these kind of programs and funds for those programs they are providing. Understanding? So what I'm trying to say, that World Bank is the bank which is not just providing the monetary in the monetary terms. They are also providing some kind of fund facilities and monetary facilities for fighting the poverty, reducing the poverty, right? Promoting the sustainable development. Understanding? So very important. One more thing I want to add here. World Bank is also responsible body for providing the long-term loans and grants for the development projects, right? they are offering the low interest loans, the interest free credits. Okay, they are also providing grants for infrastructure, digital connectivity, clean energy. Okay, so that is also for the development function. Correct. All right, now let's discuss the function of the World Bank. Okay, like fund infrastructure, education, health, right? I have just discussed with you. Okay, World Bank is providing the fund facilities in the projects, okay, which are there in engaging in infrastructure facilities, health, education, environment. Correct. The major function of the World Bank is to financial support for the development projects. Understanding, in the sectors of road, railways, schools, then health sector like hospitals, sanitation. Understanding. So basically, for example, we can take that Swachh Bharat mission, you know, India's biggest mission for rural development and basically infrastructure development. Okay, not infrastructure but sanitation and uh, cleanliness. For that reason, the Swachh Bharat mission was started. Correct. Please let me know if I am wrong. Anything, please put it down in a comment box. Right. Then we have National Rural Health Mission. Right. So these are the missions that in which the India is working. The projects that where in India is working. Right. And World Bank is the body which is providing the monetary facilities. Understand? Right. So next point, provides technical advice. It's not like that they are just providing the monetary facilities or monetary helps to the countries. They are also providing technical advices. Understanding? Like in policy, right? Framing the policy. In that term also World Bank can help. They're also providing facilities in research, policy reforms. Understanding, they are also providing training for the administrators, right? For example, we can take it is assisting the governments for tax system, right? Then PPP, we know, public private partnership. In that term also World Bank is providing help. Correct. So it is not just giving the money to you, it is also providing technical uh, advice. Okay. Support environmental projects. It is supporting environmental in the environmental projects as well. It is supporting in the reforms in the public finance, energy, water, and etc. Correct. It is helping in the modernizing the financial system as well. It is also helping in promoting clean energy transitions. It is also helping in water resource management. Understanding. So these are the projects which is engaged in the environmental upgradation, right? And in that term the World Bank is helping out. Understood. It is also focusing in SDGs. Okay, a sustainable development goal. We, if you have prepared for paper 1, we have that topic in paper 1. Okay, in the 9th unit, people development and environment, SDGs, very important. Sustainable development goals. In that term also World Bank is providing monetary terms, monetary helps. Understanding, because you must have studied that there are some goals in the SDG like no poverty, quality education, climate action, right? So we have already discussed that the World Bank is providing help in that terms, like providing fund facilities, technical advice, correct, to develop the education system, to develop the health facilities. Understanding? So these points are already there in SDGs. So obviously World Bank will help you out in that. Correct. So this is what is about WTO and IMF. Whatever we have discussed in today's session, please remember those points. Understanding, and remember everything we are providing for your full preparation for upcoming examination. Okay, so just go and message on that number, or you can just give a WhatsApp call on that number and join the course. Very uh, what we can say, very important for you. Clear? So this is all about today's session, everyone. Have a good day. See you in the next session.